Yo.
What is the deal, everybody? What deal?
Yes, sir.
Everybody, this is the most splendiferous occasion. Welcome to Raider Nation Unlimited. I am your man, Wasted Talent. I am here with the Yard Father, the Godfather, the Mayor of Raider Nation.
I appreciate
Graphic
you,
Raider.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the kind words, my brother.
And guess what? We have a legend that has just popped up and is decided to grace us with his presence. The illustrious and praiseworthy, the senior writer for Bleacher Report, and our fellow Raider brother, Maurice Moton, my brother. How are you, brother? How are you?
Man, it's been a day. That's all I can say, man. It's been a real day.
Bro, do you guys just see what Von Miller just got right now? $120 million for 6 years.
Bills paid up. Bills
and got OJ Howard.
And got OJ Howard.
Yeah.
You know what though? The only thing I gotta do is I got a rep for my brother from Brooklyn. I got my Brooklyn brother in the place to be.
Appreciate you, man, for that.
I got a rep for you.
Oh, so y'all about to jump me? That's what we're doing?
It's all love, man. It's all love.
It's all love. We love the West Side, man. We love a West Coast team, bro.
No Tupac and Biggie business here. We love the West Side out here, man. All love.
Hey, shout out to you, Mo, man. Definitely a fan of your work, my brother, man. Keep doing big things for the nation. Shout out to my brother Wasted as well, man. The rookie of the year, man. I love it, man. This is going to be a great show, man. And there's so much going on right now in the league. And we got a million things to talk about at this point. I mean, we've been active all day long, man. From the Jacob Johnson, I love that pickup. I think we all kind of seen that coming, right? I mean, are going to pick up the fullback. We've seen that coming. But I'm excited, man. Great things on the horizon for our team, and I'm blessed to be here with you two brothers, man. Definitely.
So Mo, we gotta get it started, brother. We gotta get it started, man. What was the move today that excited you the most? Because I saw some of the slander you were getting on Twitter, and I want to say something. See, this is the reason why this man does what he does, and we do what we do, be fans, because he knew what was happening. This man said this morning that the Raiders are getting their financial house in order, and they're not doing that for no reason.
Yeah, and like I said, I just want to put a disclaimer out there. That's not insider info. That's just me being around the game, covering the game, going on my 9th year right now. So I've seen the ins and outs, how general managers work with their rosters, how players get moved around. Sometimes their strategies go conservative before they pick it up. Yeah. And that's how I felt with the Raiders. I got up this morning, and even before that, I saw the Raiders had a little bit under 30 million cap space. You don't build up all of that cap space just to sit on the money.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to use it at some point. It's just for what? And a lot of times with these extensions, that money doesn't kick in the first year. So that new money that comes in, that can go to any players that you're going to sign. So I felt like, hey, there's either going to be a huge signing or a surprising trade that a lot of people didn't see. And there you go. You get Chandler Jones. You get Yannick Ngakoue going to the Colts. You get Marquez Valdes-Scantling back, so you feel the need at cornerback. Yeah. But Chandler Jones, I know a lot of people didn't want to see Yannick Ngakoue go, but I'm here to tell you that Chandler Jones is an upgrade. He's a more complete player because Yannick Ngakoue has been criticized for his run defense all his career. You don't have that problem with Chandler Jones. Yeah. Still a complete player at his age, durable. I know he missed, I believe, 11 games in 2020. Came back last year, had a pretty good season. So it's an upgrade overall.
Hey, look, we've been screaming to get. We thought that Yannick was already going to go to the Colts regardless because of Gus, the whole connection. I mean, it made sense to put together a trade with them. And like you said, man, the run game. That's what haunted Yannick all year long last year. Bringing in Chandler Jones, a guy that had 5 sacks last year, I believe, in week 1. Was it week 1 when he had 5 sacks?
Yes, it's Titans. Yep.
Yeah, finished with 10.5. Like, this is a guy that's a 4-time Pro Bowl, I believe, all pro. Like, you put him with Max, and this is different. This hits differently, man. You know what I mean? I'm very excited. And people are that they're kind of under the radar with Bilal Nichols. Like, I love that pick as well. Like, that is a nice pickup. Defensive tackle, 4 sacks last year. 25. He fits the trajectory of this team. I'm excited about this new defensive line.
Let's be real. A lot of fans aren't excited about rotational defensive linemen, but you had to start somewhere. You're probably losing Quentin Jefferson, Solomon Thomas, and Jonathan Hankins if they don't resign those guys back. So they had to start somewhere. I think Bilal Nichols is a good building block. As you said, he's still young, 8 sacks and I believe 26 quarterback pressures over the last 2 years. May not be the greatest run defender yet, but he's still growing. And the fact that he has that upside, you want that in your locker room, you want that on the field.
Yeah, it's an upgrade over Andrew Billings, I'll tell you that. And I'm a Billings fan. I watched him since Baylor, but this is nice depth thus far, and we're only getting started, man. I'm excited.
And see, and what we got to look at too with Bilal Nichols is this his 3rd year in the National Football League.
Yeah.
See, so I'm always, when it comes to free agents and roster moves, I'm always a proponent of getting somebody on the way up and not on the way down. Yeah. You know what I mean? This kid is definitely on the way up. He has a lot of like sneaky quickness inside. He's a gap filler, and that is what we need in his defense. Patrick Graham uses gap fillers. He doesn't like these, these guys who shoot the gap, kind of like in Gus Bradley's defense. He needs guys that can set the edge, hold the line, and get those defensive ends free and actually stop the run. If we can stop the run and get after, the quarterbacks in this arms race we got in the AFC West, and I wanted to pick your brain a little bit about that, Mo. It's insane, the level of quarterback play we're going to have in our division. So you got to cut the head off, you know what I mean, in the body will fall, as they say in football terms.
Yeah. But everything has made sense to this point too, though, right, Mo? In ways to everything, even the Mac Hollins pickup, like every pick thus far has made sense. We're not just going out and making just rash decisions and bringing people in that don't fit what we got going on. I like every move, but yeah, I had to cut in on that because
no, you're good. You're good. No, you're good. But I mean, I think Bilal Nichols is going to play 2/3 to 70% of the snaps. I think as he grows, he'll be a more complete, well-rounded player. A lot of Bears fans was saying basically what I said is that his run defense needs help, but if you need some pressure, need some help out your edges, help out Max Crosby, help out Chandler Jones, that's going to be your guy. And I think the Bears are still going to add more defensive linemen. I don't think it stops here. As you said, it's just getting started right now.
Yeah. I think we draft one in the first 3 rounds.
Definitely.
And one of those guys that we always speak of wasted, the Travis Jones of the world, the Davante Wyatt. I know we met with him today at their, they were working out there in Georgia, I believe. And I know Josh McDaniels was there in attendance. So there's going to be someone that we're going to pick up to slide in over at defensive tackle as well as a young guy. And there's still some veterans out there, some savvy veterans that we may pick up one as well. So, look, man, this defensive line is I'm more excited about this already than the Solomon Thomases of the world. And I like Q. I would bring Quentin Jefferson back as well. I'm a fan of him, but with Yannick gone, that connection.
Listen, I am a proponent of taking Quentin Jefferson and putting him in the rear view. I want all upgrades on the interior defensive line.
I agree.
So Mo, let me ask you a question, man. How do you feel like this thing is shaping up now? Like as far as like the interior of the defense?
Like I said, I think there will be more additions. I don't think it's going to stop at Andrew Billings and Bilal Nichols. There will be 2 or 3 more, I believe, free agents coming in. That again, that's not a report. That's just looking at the totality of their defensive line and what they're losing possibly, and what it looks like right now. So they still have more to do on that D line. Yeah. And I wouldn't even stop picking from the Bears, impending free agents. I would even look at Eddie Goldman if he's still out there. If he hasn't signed, because I know things are happening by the minute. If Eddie Goldman is still out there, I would take him. Yeah. I would pick him up. I also had Calais Campbell. I know he's a little longer in the tooth, but still durable. He's a leader wherever he goes. In recent years, wherever he's went, the run defense has been pretty good. I compare him to an Ndamukong Suh, where they get older and you think, oh, they're going to fall off. They're going to fall off the cliff. But those guys can still play high-level football. It's just that Calais Campbell will probably cost a lot less than Ndamukong Suh, who's all about the cheddar. So
Calais, you're bringing him in to stop the run. He's not going to get to the quarterback like he used to, but he's still a pretty dominant against the run.
When you're revamping a defensive line, you need a leader, and he could be that leader.
Yes.
I compare it to like a Justin Tuck when the Raiders were rebuilding with Justin Tuck, I believe, 2014. I compare that signing to a signing like him.
He helped Khalil Mack so much in his development. You're right, Mo.
Exactly.
Listen, you always need that mentor in the locker room. Some people think there's been too much made of that, but you have to know the directions to the next intersection, man. You can't just figure it out all on your own. You have to know how to prepare. You have to know those little nuanced things that can help you out going further in your career. So, man, I'm all for bringing in vets that are on a trajectory to go to the Hall of Fame. So, listen, man, I am ecstatic. Mo, let me ask you a quick question, man. Stephon Gilmore, how plausible do you think it is that we land him at this juncture based off of the money we've already spent?
he's going to have to come down off his price because he wanted a certain amount. I want to say it's between 14, 17 million when he was transitioning from the Patriots to the Panthers. So we'll see if he comes down off that amount. I don't think the Raiders are going to pay that because if you looked at their spending today, they're not overpaying players. This is not the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Nope.
They're fine saying, okay, we'll pay the commensurate amount for a player of his, production versus overpaying, even if for Stephon Gilmore, who a little older.
Yeah.
But the Patriots moved off of him for a reason. I know he's coming off a quad injury.
Yeah.
He had a rough outing against the Bills last year. When he
Definitely.
Yes.
They tore him up. So he's not the defensive player of the year he was a few years ago. So you got to keep that in mind if you're going to pay the high price for him.
Yeah. So Bradberry too, man. To be honest, I'm picking youth over anything. If we can get Bradberry at some point, I would love to bring in Bradberry with this familiarity with Patrick Graham's system. That'd be a great pickup. What do you guys think is the next move, though?
See, I don't know. What I wanted to know from both of y'all, what do y'all think is the contingency plan? Because I know it has to be somewhere when we have bringing the cornerback. We can't roll out there in the beginning of the season with Rock Ya-Sin and Trayvon Mullen coming off a knee injury, right? So what's the contingency plan if you don't land a Gilmore?
I think you draft high at the position. I think you're looking at a first-round cornerback. But to answer your question, Graphic, I think the next move is the offensive line. I'm still waiting for them to get a starting caliber right tackle because I personally think Alex Leatherwood is a right guard. So I'm still waiting for that. Yeah. But to answer your question, Wasted, they could draft higher at a cornerback because usually your first 2 picks in the first 2 rounds, usually you expect those guys to be starters right away. 3rd round is maybe depending on your needs. But I think the way it's shaping up right now, and again, there'll be more moves, but you're not going to roll out, as you said, with Rock Ya-Sin and Trayvon Mullen coming off an injury. I think you draft higher a quarterback, let him battle out with Rock Ya-Sin and see who wins that battle and start it up.
Yeah, y'all, you know what? Let me pay some bills real quick. We got a few super chats in here. We got to get the nation involved a little bit.
Shout out to the chat.
Shout out to the chat. Yo, we got over 590. 590. We need more than this in here. We got the senior writer for Bleacher Report in here. We got Graphic Radar in here, and we only got 590 people in here.
I just shared it in my community tab, and I just put it on Twitter as well. So let's run it up to 1,000, y'all. Let's get it up to 1,000.
We need 1,000 people in here. ASAP Rocky.
I'm just your average dude, man. I'm just your average dude. Nah, I'm kidding.
We all are, man.
No, brother. No.
Yannick just said thank you, Vegas. Shout out to Yannick, man.
Shout out to Yannick, man. He had a great season.
Kick rocks. Kick all the rocks, Yannick. We got Chandler Jones, baby.
Move on.
Cheers,
you saw Max Crosby. He saw Max Crosby. He moved on quick.
They work out together. They work out together in the offseason as well with Max and I want to say a new pup, but he's up there in age. You know what I mean? But I think, bro, this is a dominant duo, top 3 by far in the league right now.
Definitely. Let me ask you guys a question. Really, I'm gonna read the super chat, guys, because I'm all excited and stuff. Wait, cheers, y'all. Feels great having the caliber player of Chandler Jones. Choose the Raiders early in free agency. The tide is turning. AFC West, go Raiders. The Raiders equinox, baby. Hashtag. Brent Childs, the 1999 super sticker. Thank you for your generous donation. I appreciate you.
Love.
That's much love. Pharaoh NFL, young up and coming player in the game, the content creator. Salute to you, brother. Dave Z made a statement today, and he is not done. Talk that talk, brother. Talk that talk. Julian Mayo, would you trade up for Sauce G as your cornerback number 1? You know what? Let's transition to that. Mo, start with you. Would you trade up for Sauce Gardner?
It really depends on what the roster looks like. I know it sounds like a cop-out, but I would have to really see what the roster looks like. If you're really that desperate for a cornerback and the price is right, why not? Because right now we don't know if it's going to be, Sauce Gardner or Derek Stingley Jr. as the first cornerback off the board. So let's say it's Stingley and Sauce falls into that 10 to 15 range. I think about it.
Yeah.
I feel like we have too many holes, though. You know what I mean? Like if anything, I'm trading back. I like. Don't get me wrong. I love Stingley. You know how I feel about Sauce Gardner, man. Like that's my guy. But I just feel like like from day one. You know what I mean? But I feel like, man, I like the Rocky-Sin. You know what I mean? He was first round corner. I feel like we need a defensive tackle, man. I really do. Like I feel like we need to go that route in the first round. I love this. this corner room in this draft is a little sketchy, right? Because some of these guys may fall to the second. You know, I know Raid loves Elam. You know, he may fall to the second as well. You know, I mean, we don't know how this falls, but I would trade up in the second if need be. But trading up in the first, that's a little tough, man. Like
Elam is one of my favorites too.
Okay.
He's my CB too.
Okay.
I would take him in the second round if he's there in the second round. I would definitely take him.
So let me ask you guys a question, because with Stingley, you have a guy who was highly touted 2 years ago. You have a guy probably, as far as God-given ability, is off the charts. But he has 2 years of suspect tape. There is no way on God's green earth I see him getting taken in front of Ahmad Gardner. You just can't do it. It would be Stingley. It would be almost organizational malpractice based off of the tape, because that's what we're looking at. We can't look at tape 2 years ago. We can only look at tape for the last 2 years. He's had bad tape, and he doesn't have a willingness to stick his head in there and tackle people, right? So, say, for instance, Stingley falls, which I see him falling. I see Stingley being the one that falls into the teens. Do you make a move up and packaging it with another one of your later round picks to move up to snap Stingley based off of the situation we're in now?
I'm not moving up for Stingley for one reason you pointed out. He was really good his true freshman year. And now he's dealing with injuries. Got a foot injury, had a foot procedure. So he didn't work out at the combine. So I have questions about durability. Yep. You know what they always say? College players who have durability issues don't all of a sudden become healthy when they get to the pro league, when they're banging against bigger bodies. So I'm with you. And that's why I said Sauce Gardner is CB1 for me. I think Stingley falls into the 15 to 20 range. But if for some reason a team like Stingley takes him first, I'm definitely thinking about Sauce Gardner if he falls. But like I said, with Stingley, I just, you know, great athletically, but it's just it's a big risk to expect. You know, he'll come in and like, okay, after 2 years with injury, he's gonna all of a sudden come out of the gate and be your CB1 and start and have big numbers. So, but
look, McDuffie may fall to the second. You know what I'm saying? Like my guy Kobe Bryant maybe even be there in the third. Like, you know, he had a rough he had a rough go around this offseason. I'll tell you that with Kobe, but I love his tape. You know what I mean? So Kobe Bryant may be there in the second or third round. Like, I think we're still going to have we're going to be able to get a good corner in this draft. I just, in the first, man, I feel like you got to build the trenches. And that's what New England is known for, right? The Patriot way. They build up the offensive line. They build up that defensive tackle room. I would not be shocked if we went and got a painting in the first round and got a Travis Jones in the second. I'm not saying I agree with it, but like, I'm just saying that I can see that happening. You know,
I more so see that the Patriot way is to build from the back end of the defense forward. They've always been the kind of team that makes sure that the secondary is bulletproof. You know what I mean? And you can kind of see what they're doing right now.
But undrafted, they get guys that's unknown and unheard of. You know what I mean? Like J.C. Jackson was undrafted. Nobody knew who
sometimes. And then the thing is with J.C. Jackson, I think a bit much is made of that. J.C. Jackson was a 5-star recruit. He got in a little trouble.
He got in trouble.
So people knew what kind of talent he had. He fell in their lap, to be quite honest. He didn't fall in their lap. They knew what they were doing because they do their homework. Yeah. With the Patriots, we say that, but then this is the same team who went out and got Darrelle Revis. It's the same team who had Ty Law and Lawyer Malloy. It's the same team who went out free agency and got Rodney Harrison. They go out there and they go get star players to play in the defensive secondary. Don't make no mistake about that. Yeah. So I can see these guys going and making another free agent move this offseason. Who is the guy that you could see them going out to get, Mo?
Man, I think it's going to have to be someone who's going to get cut, and they'll pick him up off the scrappy if it's not Stephon Gilmore. Because I had my eyes on Charvarius Ward, but he signed with the 49ers.
Yeah.
And I thought he was a great fit. But again, he signed for big money with the 49ers. He's off the board. But right now, I think it's going to be a guy that we don't see come in, that they either acquired by trade. Graphic mentioned Bradberry. I think that's still a possibility because there was a report out saying that the Giants are willing to hold on to Bradberry, even though he's guaranteed about $2 million in a few days. So they're still willing to move him, even with that guaranteed salary amount. So I think that's still a possibility. As everyone knows, he has experience with Patrick Graham's defense. Yeah. At the end of the day, I think the Giants are still going to make some moves. They're still going to cut some guys. I think James Bradberry is a strong possibility.
Yeah. Definitely. That's the guy I'm looking at. I'm looking at James Bradberry.
Let me get to a couple of these supers real quick, y'all. Daniel Kim, yo, the Raiders equinox has begun. Solid nose tackle, linebacker, cornerback, O-line, and our draft will play out well. From our lips to God's ears, Raiders.
Talk that talk.
What's up, Wasted? Should we go after Akeem Hicks? You know what, John Jones? I'm gonna pass that one over to Graf and Mo. What y'all think about going after Akeem Hicks?
Go ahead, Mo. You handle this one because I gotta feel. Go ahead.
I can see the look on your face.
I'm more of a Calais Campbell guy because Akeem Hicks is kind of dipped. His production has kind of dipped, and he's had some injury issues. He's actually younger than Calais Campbell, yes, but he's less durable.
Yeah, he's had some injuries. We'll say, and Calais is like an Iron Man. I'm definitely going after Calais Campbell over Akeem Hicks, which I wouldn't be mad if Akeem came in and he could stay healthy. It'd be a great pickup, but Calais at this point is my guy. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, for me, to be honest with you, I'd rather us get somebody in the second round in the interior of our defense. I'm a big proponent of having young interior linemen because that's a place where once you get heavier and you get older, you don't get any healthier. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we have a small window to kind of take advantage of Carr and the things that we're doing now. I'm kind of leaning towards getting 2 more veteran guys and picking up a Travis Jones and calling it a day when it comes to the interior.
Michael Pierce is out there too. Michael Pierce is out there. I forgot about that.
You kind of stole my thunder there, Wasted. I was going to ask you guys how y'all feel about Travis Jones out of UConn because that's the guy that I would want if you're going to pick up a D lineman early in the draft.
Oh my God. I would like to say there's a lot of things that some people.
Here we go.
Listen, Graf is certain things. Graf say that he landed on Plymouth Rock first on, and I give him his love. I give him his flowers. Andy, a lot of the Raider content creators say I was the first person. Let me tell you something. Mark this down. I'm the first person to talk about Travis Jones when it comes to this Raider content creator thing. I am a huge fan of Travis Jones. I think Travis Jones has superior drive, leg strength. He got 13% body fat. The guy is an all-in-out animal, man.
But can he get to the quarterback at the next level? Because
yes, he can. Yes, he can. I think he can. Even though he's about 320, 310 over 310, 320. I think he can do it.
Okay.
Really,
that's my only knock. Travis Jones is my 3rd rated defensive tackle in this draft. Like that's me. I still got Jordan Davis and I got Wyatt over him. And then Perion Winfrey is after Travis and so on and so forth. Logan Hall at Houston is kind of on the outside looking in. But Ridgeway as well. I know you're not a big fan of him Wasted at all.
No, you know what? I like John Ridgeway, but I like John Ridgeway a lot lower. John Ridgeway is like a 4th round pick.
Definitely.
If you get John Ridgeway in the 4th round, I'm good with him. He's one of those kind of defensive tackles that you have on your roster, and he can play the 3 technique. He can play the 5 technique. You know what I mean? He has long arms. He's rangy. He has a pad level issue from what I can see, but that's something that could be coached on. You know what I mean? He's a hard worker.
You put me up on Jones, though. You really did, Wasted. You put me up on Travis. I knew who he was, but I didn't really watch his tape like that.
Thank you.
Until it was mentioned. Then I was like, okay, my only knock was, can he get to the quarterback? You know what I'm saying? Because he's great against – he looks like he could play the run well. You know what I mean? But can he get to the quarterback?
See, for me – Go ahead.
I was just going to say he patents his game after Jeffrey Simmons, defensive lineman out of the Titans. So if he's similar to Jeffrey Simmons, like I said, who can stop the run and get out the quarterback, I'm all for it.
There we go.
Yeah, and I love Jeffrey Simmons, man. I wanted us to draft him even though he had an injury concern coming out of Mississippi State. Yo, Kempo Snake Fist, this is a terrific question for the panel. Wasted, would you trade up to keep the Bolts from getting Jordan Davis in the 1st round? Listen, I am a crazy, psychotic fan. You're darn right I would trade up to prevent the Bolts from getting that monster. I don't want to see the Bolts get any better up front. I would, but I know you guys are going to tell me I'm crazy.
You're crazy because you know what's going to happen if you do that. They're just going to draft Wyatt because I feel like the Chargers are going to get one of those Georgia defensive linemen. So if you take one, they're just going to get the other guy, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you know what? I'd rather them not get the Incredible Hulk, Mo. Like I don't need them getting the Incredible Hulk.
I feel you.
I don't need that, bro. Listen, let me tell you something. I wasn't high on Jordan Davis because of his pad level and things of that nature. But I watched a little more film, and I saw this man take on 2 blockers with one bicep.
I co-wasted he was bored in college, man. He was a monster among men. I feel like Jordan Davis at times are just, I guess a lot of people say he's a 2-down, defensive tackle. I think at the next level, he's going to realize the competition. He's going to go off like full force. Look, if I can get Jordan Davis, I'm taking him in the first round. Don't get me wrong, boomer bust talent. I feel like that, but it's up here. Now, Davante Wyatt, I feel like he could be great for a long time. You can't lose either way. I feel like either one you get, they're going to ball out. I want to ask Mo this real quick, because we talked about this on the show before this, because I see a lot of people in the chat asking, and we have to talk about it. Julio Jones, Mo. Julio Jones was just cut from Tennessee. We know he's coming off a bad season. I think he only played 13 games, had like 400 receiving yards and 1 TD, right? Do you take a flyer on him to bring him in as a number 2 receiver on this roster?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I go, hey, Josh Jacobs, get your baby Reggie McKenzie, baby Dave Ziegler on, recruit that guy. Say, hey, we're building something over here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Bring your Alabama homie over, because I'm taking the flyer on him for the right price. Definitely. I know people will say he's long in the tooth, didn't do much in Tennessee. Look, Ryan Tannehill is a mid quarterback.
Yep.
I know some people say the same thing about Derek Carr, but I think the size, with Julio's size, Derek Carr does well with bigger wide receivers. And Julio
I only wore this jersey today because people call me a Carr hater, so I had to wear the jersey today.
Man, it's the complete opposite for me. Now people call me a Carr stan. Last year I was a Carr hater because I actually had Carr ranked outside the top 10, and fans were kind of upset about that. And I'm like, well, he's not a top 10. He's not a top 10 quarterback, as it stands going into the 2021 season. People say, oh, you're being a hater and you're being overcritical, and you know how it goes.
10 to 12, 10 to 12 range. I'm not
right.
about that.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can win playoff games with that if you build a solid support system for them.
Yeah. Listen, we had the guy that was either right below him or right above him winning the Super Bowl this year. Let's just be for real here.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford, exactly.
Matthew Stafford. So look, for me, I've always had Derek Carr in that 10 to 12 range. And this year he can take a step forward. Now, what I will say is that Derek Carr needs a lot. They've done him no favors. Can we all agree on that? The organization has done him no favors.
I don't agree with that.
Recently, I'll say it's mixed. Recently, they haven't. But those years between 2016, 17, and now 16, he got hurt. It's not his fault. Yeah. But 17 had a good offensive line. 18, I know they were rebuilding under Gruden, still had a decent offense. The offensive line didn't start to really fall apart to the second half of the 2020 season.
Yeah.
That's when things started to go downhill, and Gruden and Mayock made a bunch of questionable signings, or should I say guys that didn't play up to their contracts. And that's why I say Derek Carr needed more help from that standpoint. Recently, he hasn't been done any big favors from the front office or Gruden.
So for me, when I look at a snapshot of what's going on with the Raiders, I only look back 3 years. I can't look back any further than that. So for me, when I talk about them not doing him any favors, that is what I'm referring to. Like, lately they haven't, right? I'm not making any excuses with Derek because I'm definitely not a Carr stan. I get called a Carr hater all the time. Graf, you get called a Carr hater all the time because we are Derek Carr centrist. Yeah. We give him his flowers when he deserves his flowers.
And take him.
And when he deserves to get smacked around, we smack him around a little bit. Yeah. I'm just honest, bro. Listen.
Why do you guys, speaking of DC and weapons, right? This is one guy, like, it's been very, very quiet on the Allen Robinson front. Like, I know that he watched Christian Kirk just get paid astronomical money. So maybe he's sitting back saying, I've done more in my career. I know he's coming off a down year in Chicago with 400 receiving yards as well, but he did deal with a hamstring injury, I believe. But this guy has worked with the Blake Bortles, the Mitchell Trubiskys of the world, and thrived. I mean, why is it so quiet on that front, Mo? Do you think maybe because of Christian Kirk getting that money that Allen Robinson saying, I need 20 plus mil? Is that why? Because it's been quiet on that front.
Definitely, you got to look at Allen Robinson's age. Yeah. He's still younger than 30.
Yep.
So he's looking for that big payday before he is on the wrong side of 30. So I think he's waiting for his market to materialize and say, okay, what's the best situation for me where I can make a lot of money? Because as you just pointed out, subpar quarterback play in his previous stops. Mm-hmm. So now I think he's looking to get paid. And he's looking for a good situation to get his numbers back up, because he was actually defending himself on Twitter. People saying, oh, Allen Robinson is washed. I don't agree with that. But he was also pointed out that he didn't get a lot of targets last year. Remember, he had Andy Dalton. He had a rookie Justin Fields. And as you mentioned, he was dealing with an injury, so he missed several games.
Yeah.
So people are throwing him out as washed. And I'll be the first to admit I was wrong on OBJ. And look what he did with the Rams. People were saying OBJ was washed.
Yeah.
And
look, I was screaming to bring OBJ. I wanted him at that point, like for real.
Yeah,
but I feel like, and when he got hurt, Justin Fields built that rapport with Darnell Mooney, and they were comfortable with each other.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it made sense. You know what I mean? But I think
and not for nothing, you know, when you talk about Odell Beckham, when you talk about Allen Robinson, man, the last thing anybody thinks about when you talk about targets is accuracy.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield and Justin Fields last year, Baker Mayfield was supposed to be an accurate quarterback. He is woefully inaccurate. And a lot of those targets, man, he was throwing a lot of rocket balls, a lot of stuff floating over Allen Robinson's head. And I think that Allen Robinson, if he really wants to resurrect his career, he might have to come here and approve a deal and get with a guy that's accurate and get with a guy who needs a solid X receiver and come on in, take a prove a deal like DJ Chark did, and come on out here and play for the Raiders, man.
It's
Allen Robinson, Julio Jones. Let's go.
It's crazy that OBJ put up 8 touchdowns with the Rams, and that's what he had completely his whole career in Cleveland.
Unbelievable.
The quarterback matters. The quarterback matters.
Definitely does, man.
And the older Allen Robinson gets, the quarterback will matter a lot more because the things that you do in your 20s, you will not necessarily do in your 30s. Yeah. And I'm telling you right now, if Allen Robinson doesn't turn that corner now, he will be considered washed in the eyes of NFL executives if he has another season like he had this year. Let me read this super chat real quick, gentlemen. Do you think Rock is our number one corner? If so, are you comfortable going into the season with as your starting cornerbacks, Rock, Mullen, Hobbs at 3? We need a linebacker. No, we need another guy. I said that already. Let me get through some of these.
But on paper, he's number 1 right now.
Yeah. But you know what? The offseason is still it's
like
the first day. Yeah. Noah Ellis from Idaho is a very good sleeper defensive tackle. Take him in the draft. Marcus Howard, my brother. Do you think we will get Robinson and Julio? We just kind of unpacked that. I think we will get both of them. Thank you.
hey,
Mo, A-Rob or Julio, more realistic or neither? Everybody go crazy.
Julio's more realistic only because I assume that A-Rob's going to want some. He's going to want some money. He's going to want some bread. So Julio will be more affordable, and that's what the Raiders are rolling right now.
Thinking Wyatt transitioned to be a better pro than David. Raiders need another cornerback, free safety, and nickelback in his division. Also, Robinson goes for a cheap 1-year deal.
I just got to answer Michael Riley really quick because he's right down my alley. Because I've been saying I don't think he's signed yet, but I think the Raiders should go after Tyrann Mathieu. I think he's the perfect fit for Patrick Graham. Patrick Graham likes to run big nickel with 3 safeties. Yeah. So he could be in that alignment in the nickel, smart safety, can line up in the box, can line up in the slot. He can even line up out wide if you need him to, but that's not his strong suit. With Graham's defense, he usually has his slot guy, his free safety, mix and match between those spots. He did it with Logan Ryan. He did it with, I believe, Julian Love, who's out of Notre Dame. He's done it at previous spots with he did it in Miami with Bobby McCain, who I wanted the Raiders to sign, but he signed back with the Commanders. But he could be that versatile piece to pick up that secondary, and I think the Raiders should go after him as a big signing for that defense.
I agree.
Wait, Carr makes an average QB wide receiver look good. Robinson's a good wide receiver that can make Carr look great. Okay, and I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I thank all of y'all for the super chats. Yo, we got a legend in here. We got 2 legends in here, y'all. So if I'm not reading the supers and stuff like that, I just kind of post them because I want
3.
Got 3 legends.
You in there, bro? You in there, wasted?
Nah, man, not yet.
Don't downplay yourself, man. You're the rookie of the year right now. You Jamar Chase out here.
The Roy. Hey, I gotta ask y'all, man. Everybody wants to know. We know all the excitement about this. I gotta ask this before anything like real talk. Davante Adams, okay?
Oh man,
I know, Mo. I know. I just want to ask you, right? Because me and Wasted talk about this every day on our shows. Is it realistic?
Look, I say anything is possible. You never say never, right? Because we've seen wilder things happen. But I'm just going to tell you that. Do you think the Packers, who just signed Aaron Rodgers to an extension, are going to let Davante Adams walk out the door? No. How would you think that would make Aaron Rodgers feel him signing back, and then you let Davante Adams go to some other team or you trade him? They already franchise tagged him to keep him in place. They've already said that they're willing to make him the highest paid wide receiver. It's all about the structure of the contract right now. So maybe he wants the money front loaded or back loaded. It's all about structure. It's not even about the money right now. It's about how it's going to be paid out. And once they get through that, he's going to be a Green Bay Packer for the foreseeable future.
Okay.
I think it's as plausible for Davante Adams to leave the Green Bay Packers as for us to get a clear shot of the Yeti. It's not going to happen. There's no way that you bring Aaron Rodgers back and pay him all of that money and let that guy walk out of the door.
Exactly.
There's no way. You just said that, Mo. No way.
Because they're already losing Marquez Valdes-Scantling. I believe they tender Al Lazard, but that Davante is their number one guy. If they lose him, there goes their passing attack. They're going to have to draft a guy. Amari Rodgers is there, right? Amari Rodgers is there, and he didn't do much last year. So they're not. I know Raiders fans are dreaming about the situation, and I get it. I get the Fresno State ties between him and Carr, but I just don't see it as happening. I don't see it as a realistic expectation right now.
I think that the Fresno State ties are going to begin and end with them hanging out in the offseason and playing Xbox. I really do. A lot of people try to connect these dots. We all sit here in the offseason. We try to connect these dots. This guy's from this place. This guy's friends with this guy. If the money don't break up right and the situation doesn't dictate, it never happens, bro. And I don't know why Davante Adams will try to force him way out to go play with a quarterback who's worse than the one he's playing with now. Let's just be for real here.
Let's be for real here too. Him saying that is just he's just trying to put pressure on the Packers to get a deal done because these players, they just want their money. They want it how they want it. Yeah. So he's just putting pressure on the Packers, but I assume it's going to get, it's going to get done. But really quick, I wanted to get your guys' opinion because we touched on this a bit on the cornerback situation. What do you guys think about Dante Jackson? I mean, the Raiders did hire a former Panthers coach, I believe Jason Simmons, who's a pass game coordinator.
Yeah.
Dante Jackson got some speed, athletic, could be an option at cornerback.
I would love that. To be honest, look, we always want the big prize fighter, right? We want the Gilmore, we want the Bradberry. Dante Jackson is flying under the radar like crazy. And I'm not, if we brought him in with Rocky Sin and then go draft one, but still with Mullen over there, like, I love it. I think that'd be a great pickup. I do.
I'd be more in favor of that than bringing in Gilmore because the one thing that we are devoid of in our secondary is elite speed. We have a lot of speedy guys in the AFC West. Jerry Jeudy's, you know what I mean? Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman's. You need that elite speed. Some of those guys that can run out there and make up ground. Now, I'm not saying anyone is as fast as Tyreek Hill. I mean, but I just need a guy that's going to stay in the frame when he decides to run a 9. I mean, we had guys like Casey Hayward that would, as soon as he hit him with a move, Casey's not even in the screen no more. We've released him to the safety already. He's gone. We can't have that anymore.
The only thing I'm worried about with Dante is he's 5'10", 5'11", so he's really short. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, lining up with all these other guys in our division. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see him and Tyreek Hill. And that'd be a nice little matchup. But I remember last year, who was it? Was it Mike Williams that picked apart Meek?
It was Mike Williams.
Was it? Or did Meek play him pretty well?
No, Meek played him pretty well. It was Cortland Sutton in Denver.
Cortland Sutton, yes. Again,
who did Mike Williams? Mike Williams.
No, Meek actually played great against Mike Williams.
He did.
It was somebody that Mike Williams dogged out on our team. Who was it? What was it? Casey?
Was it Facing?
Was it Facing or Casey? I can't remember. One of our guys got dog walked by Mike Williams. In the first game that we lost to the game we lost to the Chargers.
28-14 game.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. I know what you're talking, but
I can't remember, man.
Yeah.
I know.
It wasn't Meek though. Meek actually did well against him.
Meek did lock him down.
It was Sutton and Tim Patrick that got him.
Yes,
I believe.
Yeah, Cortland Sutton uses that size, man. He uses that size. Mike Williams, for as big as he is and as fast as he is, it's weird, man. He just doesn't. He reminds me of football's version of Larry Hughes. He never puts it all together. He has all the athletic ability in the world, but he never puts it together on a consistent basis. One game he'll go nuts, and the next game he'll disappear, man.
Yeah. And
I hope he never puts it together. I'm just saying that while he's in the AFC West.
But I'm not against it though. Don't let me think. I don't want you guys to think just because of the size. 5'10", he's still a good size. I want a big. I want the Tariq Woolen in this draft. I want Tariq Woolen. That's who I want. A guy that I've been big on forever. Like, if you can get a 6'4", what is it, 6'5" type big body. I know he used to be a receiver, and they moved him over to corner because his hands were terrible as a receiver. But like this guy, I knew he was going to kill it at the combine, and now probably end up being a second or third round pick. But I had him in later rounds for a long time. But
the Dallas Cowboys are going to take him.
And mind you, I think he's going to be better than Isaiah Johnson. I don't think he's going to be, because we thought Isaiah Johnson was going to be this next Richard Sherman. Yeah, I mean, I know I did. I'm like, we got this big body guy going to be the next dude.
Gruden hyped him. I think it was Gruden that said he was the sleeper of the draft, of the draft class. I think he said it.
He goes, hey, man, let me tell you something. That Isaiah Johnson, man.
Yep.
You know, I had Deion Sanders come up to me and tell me, listen, man. Hey, Gru, man. Isaiah Johnson's the guy, man. You got to take him, buddy. I don't care what your scouting department says. I just want you to go out there and take Isaiah Johnson and like your life depends on it. And then knock on wood if you're here with me, baby.
And if Gruden said that, we should not to go that route.
Yeah, because he's always selling something or someone.
Always.
But
listen, he's better off selling beer.
Really quick though about the size thing, Patrick Graham, or I should say, the Giants did bring in Dory Jackson previous year. He's a smaller corner, has some athleticism, so that's why I think Dante Jackson could be a different type of cornerback. But I think as far as the athleticism is concerned, the athletic profile, I think they could take a look at Dante with Simmons on the staff.
If we get one of those three guys,
my guy to USC.
Fire.
That was my guy. I wanted a Dory Jackson because one thing that I wanted to address, and I don't know whether Dante.
They overpaid the hell out of him too. Dory got
a my goodness. My goodness. You know, another guy that I feel like we need, not another guy, but another position of need we need to address. And I want to get both of you guys thought about this, is right tackle. How are we going to address that at this point, since we let Morgan Moses go back home to Baltimore, man?
Darryl Williams. Darryl, hey, graphic man, don't do that graphic. He's visited with the Seahawks, by the way, and they need him. They need him. But I'm looking at Darryl Williams because I think his two best seasons were at right tackle. Because he can play right guard too, but I believe in 2017 when he was with Carolina, I remember Taylor Moton, who shares my last name, was also there, and he kind of got booted out because of the money. Yeah. But he had a great season at right tackle, and he also had a good season at right tackle with the Buffalo Bills. Yeah. So I think he would be my top target if you can go out there a right tackle.
Yeah. I look, if we can get him, I agree. Buffalo only saved $9 million letting him go, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, they went and got Von Miller and O.J. Howard, but I mean, I would have kept him around. I mean, one thing though, you got Josh Allen. This guy's mobile and he can get around.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So he makes you look a lot better than you actually are.
Definitely.
True.
It's the Deshaun Watson effect. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, listen, I'm going to be honest with you, Mo. I'm more of a La'el Collins guy. If there's any way you can get La'el Collins in here, I'd definitely be in favor of that, man. I like his leg drive. I like the power, and I like the style that he plays, man. He's a guy that in a pinch you can move to left tackle based off of his size and skill set.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. The only thing is I'm trying not to give up any draft capital.
I know
at this point you kind of want to keep, if you can. That's why it's like some of these guys you want to wait to see if they get cut, because if you can, you want to keep your draft capital.
Yeah,
but I'm definitely, I agree with you. I would take La'el.
Hey Mo, hypothetical, right? Just throwing it in the air. All right, you get Armstead and you move Colton Miller to the right side.
See, I don't like doing that because Colton Miller has been. I know when he was at UCLA, he played on both sides of the line. I get it. But see, with guys like that, when he settled in at left tackle, I'm just not a fan of that. And the Jets did a similar move. They signed Laken Tomlinson, I believe, on Monday, and they plan on moving him to right guard after he was a Pro Bowler at left guard. Yeah, I'm a little wary of that, because you have to understand with these offensive line, people think you could just move a guy from side to side. One offensive line, never forget, said that it's like writing with your other hand. So if you're a left tackle, now you're not used to being on the right side. Imagine being a righty, now you got to write with your left hand, or being a lefty, and now you got to write with your right hand.
Yeah.
It's similar to that when you're switching sides.
I got to push back on you, Mo. I got to push back on you, brother. Listen, man. When Michael Jordan came out of retirement after his brief hiatus,
here we go.
Did they say, listen, Michael, we got Pete Myers at 2. We're going to put you at point guard. We're going to put you at the point. We're going to put you at the 3 because Pete Myers is here and he's not used to sitting on that bench. Listen, bro, if you got one of the 3 best left tackles in football, you accommodate him. especially if you get him for a contract that's advantageous to the Raiders. You have to.
And Colton's still getting paid like a left tackle regardless. So, I mean, he got a nice contract. Look, Colton last year, right? He still held it up, but there was a few games, that Giants game, there was a few plays I seen with Colton, and with all these pass rushers in the AFC West now, I'm just looking at it like, damn, if you got Armstead, which Armstead has had problems staying healthy too, though. I'm just saying it's a hypothetical, because when he's healthy, he's a top 3 left tackle in his league.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that he would already be off the board now. I thought Cincinnati, somebody would have went and got this guy, but I guess he's just sitting, waiting, and letting the market come to him, I guess. I don't know, but this is a hypothetical because you look at it, that probably has to be like the best left and right tackle duo if you do that. I mean, one of them at least.
In football, if you make that move and you have a healthy Armstead and you have a healthy Colton Miller who has played right tackle, and you give him enough time to get reacclimated to right tackle, you almost have to do it, man.
Because you have a cheap interior. You got Leatherwood, you got Andre James, and then I don't know who you throw at left guard, whether Denzel Good comes back or I don't even want to bring our Clemson boy. I'm good. Like, he showed me enough last year. I'm good.
Oh, man, you gave up on him too fast, man. Come on.
Here's the pushback, though. The Raiders not too long ago signed Colton Miller to an extension. What if he flops at right tackle? You're flushing money down the toilet because now you pay big money because Teron Armstead is going to command big money.
Big money.
So if Colton Miller flops at right tackle where he hasn't played significant snaps on the pro level, what do you do with that? And he flops.
Yeah, I mean, Leatherwood did it last year, so
that's what I'm saying. I'm done. I'm done running these experiments with your offensive line. Get a guy who plays his natural position, plug him in, let that guy start day one. Stop playing against the offensive line. You got to protect Derek Carr with these edge rushers in the AFC West.
We are not getting Armstead, you guys. I just threw a hypothetical out there.
Listen, for me,
that was a passionate response. My bad, y'all.
Listen, we all passionate here, bro. Because look, for me, listen, Armstead is like my favorite tackle in football.
Yeah.
So, listen, selfishly, I would like to see him here. But if we had a situation with Colton Miller, see, the thing is, we wouldn't be able to move Colton Miller the way we did with Yannick to try to make room for Armstead because of the way his contract, it just got restructured. It would be such a bad cap hit and it'd be so much dead money. We wouldn't be able to do it. So it's not really something worth mentioning. So we got Williams. We got our boy La'el Collins. Is there anybody else that's still in the mix at right tackle that we can think about moving?
I don't think he's signed yet, but this is more of a depth signing. I wanted Rick Wagner last year. He filled in well with the Packers. He was asked to start because they had Bakhtiari was injured, so they had to do some moving around. Billy Turner's out there. He's a versatile piece. He can go in for a pinch because I don't want to go into the season with Alex Leatherwood at right tackle or Denzel Good coming off of a torn ACL at 31 years old. I think they really need to get a starting caliber player or at least a veteran who can give you some starts, and you draft a right tackle in the draft who can maybe he could pass the baton on to midseason.
What about Illuminor? Mo, just bringing him back. He started at right tackle for New England before. I mean, I know he's not a guy that you would want at right tackle for foreseeable future, but I mean, he is a plug and play kind of guy right now. Bring him back on a cheap deal, have him at right tackle. I mean,
I wouldn't be against it. Just give me someone who's capable and serviceable because again, I'm not rolling with Alex Leatherwood because even Josh McDaniels kind of said it when they asked about Leatherwood's role. He was kind of like, well, we're going to see where he fits best. So they don't even really know yet where he fits on that offensive line.
No, definitely.
Yeah, as soon as they get him in camp, they're going to see whether or not they can get him to stop some of his bad habits. Because if you look at Alex Leatherwood as a guard, I think he has enough God-given ability to be a serviceable starter.
Yeah,
a serviceable starter. He just needs to clean the mistakes up. But they can't substantiate that because they haven't got their hands on the kid yet. I
wish Mitchell Schwartz back wasn't just tortoise. Like he would be a perfect guy to bring into today to start at right tackle if he didn't have that back injury. Because before that back injury, he never missed a game. Like he was durable is all get up. You know what I mean? So Mitchell Schwartz would be like a perfect, just bring him in. But I heard his back is pretty bad though.
Man, retirement bad, right?
Yeah.
What about Riley Reef? Play for the Bengals. He could give you some stats. I'm not saying he's great. I'm just saying as a serviceable guy that could start.
Riley Reef is just good enough to get Derek Carr's back broken. He's terrible. I would never bring Riley Reef in.
The Chargers just let Brian Beluga go.
Brian Bulaga is another guy.
Bulaga,
He gives up weight. Listen, we know that the knock on Derek Carr is this. If Derek Carr had more pocket presence, he would be a top 5 quarterback. Let's call it what it is, right? And he held onto the ball a little bit. Derek Carr goes from being a top 10 quarterback to a lower third quarterback when he's not protected properly. You know what I mean? And Brian Bulaga is a guy who gives up a lot of pressure, man. And so does Riley Reeve. We saw Joe Burrow running for his life all last year.
But keep in mind, a lot of that was from interior pressure, and that's why the Bengals upgraded their interior of their offensive line. That's why they added Ted Karras, who I wanted the Raiders to sign. That's why they added Alex Capper. That's why they did. That's why they made those moves, because a lot of that pressure was coming from the interior. You got to remember, Riley Reeve got hurt and they had to put in a fill-in right tackle, a young right tackle who wasn't ready to really start for that team too. So I'm just saying, I want a guy
that played great in the playoffs though. That young right tackle they put in there, he played great into the Super Bowl.
I'm all for Darrell Williams though, y'all. Like
that's the number one.
Got to see him twice a year. He knows what he's capable of doing. I think it wouldn't be that expensive. Like you know what I mean? Well, it's going to cost you a couple dollars, but it's not going to be nothing insane. I think that is the move though. Like for real.
Yeah, let me get to some of these supers right here, because you know I told everybody I was going to be able to read them as much because we got Mo in here, we got royalty up in here in the Raider Nation. But let me get to this one. Which cornerback would you rather get, Stephon Gilmore or Bradberry? We all are in agreement. We say Gilmore, correct?
Right, but Bradberry is not a bad consolation prize.
Yes,
we're all in agreement there, right? Okay. We need to sign Witherspoon and Darrell Williams. We just said that. Thank you, my brother, for the $2 donation. Phoenix Raider 602. Thank you for the $25 donation, my brother. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Raider hit Chandler up on the low. Chandler Jones about to blow and take Vegas to the Super Bowl. Who? Chandler Jones. Mo always dropping knowledge, wasted. Keep doing your thing, yo. I appreciate you, my brother. Phoenix Raider always up at a place to be.
Hey, Phoenix, everything we're doing is on the low right now. Nobody even knew any of these moves we were like. That's what's so dope. Everything's so calculated. You know, like everybody was crying about, oh, we're doing this and we're doing that. We were really playing chess this whole time. Like real talk.
He said, wasted. What's Charles Barkley think about these signings so far? I don't know. Would you guys like me to ask Charles what he thinks about these signings right now?
Chuck gambling right now.
Oh, they didn't have to do it. They got Mo up in the place to be. Let me tell you something, man. What they need to do is they need to go out there and go get Shaquille O'Neal and have him start a right tackle. Because Shaq's old fat ass, he's all.
Hey, wasted. Chill, bro.
Nah, I know. Oh, my bad.
He almost had a wet screen right there. Graphic almost lost his drink. That was funny.
Nah, man, I'm bugging, man.
Hey, real quick question, man. Outside of Mo, do you have a YouTube channel? Do you do anything on YouTube as well, or no?
I had Silver and Black tonight. I'm on there with Scott Gobranson. Evan Grote is holding it down for me right now every Friday nights. So I'm included on that channel. So if you want to catch me on Friday nights with Scott Gobranson talking Raiders, everything Raiders, tune in there. 9 p.m. on Fridays, Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Yo, is one of the mods in here? Could one of the mods put the link to Mo's channel?
I'll do it right now.
Oh, thank you, Graf. Because you know I'm a boomer. I'm terrible with technology right
Silver
now.
and Black today, right?
Silver and Black today. That's
correct. Just subscribed also. Okay, let me grab that.
Yes, and I will be subscribing. Mo, you
Friday nights,
man, brother.
Friday nights.
We will be in the place to be, brother. You already know.
Hey,
we will always be in the place to be.
We got to do more of this as well, man. I love this conversation. I love to bring everybody from the nation, because everybody thinks we're all so segregated because there's writers, there's YouTubers, there's Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, look, man, we all do the same thing. We all cover this team, and I love that we're kind of bridging the gap here, man, and doing that, man. So shout out to you, Mo. I put the link in there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Did it pop up?
It didn't pop up yet. It should soon. I'm looking. Did it go down? We got listen, y'all. We got over 870 in the room, man. Y'all get this up to over 1,000, man. That will be a personal milestone for myself, to be honest with you, selfishly. So please get it up over 1,000 for me. Get them likes up. Get them shares up. Pay that tab. Get wasted with me. What is wrong with all of y'all, man? Do y'all know what you have right now?
It's been going crazy in the nation, man, bro. Our video that me and Wasted did right before this is at 16,000 views already. We just dropped it like right before this. Like, Hey, it's lit right now in the NFL, man. The nation is out here rocking crazy, bro. So shout out to y'all. Did the link not pop up? I don't know what's going on.
No, it didn't pop up yet, Graf.
You know what? I'm gonna do. Damn, I can't comment on here. Shit. All right, this is what I'm gonna do, man. Let me send it to somebody. We got to run that channel up, man. That's what we got to do, man. We do it in the nation. This is what we do. Hey, Sean, you still in the comment section? If you are, please post this for me, brother.
Yo, Dave, Maxfield too. Follow Mo on Twitter, man. At Mo Moton.
Yeah, I interact with a lot of people in there. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, I'll tweet back at you on there. So don't be shy.
What were they flaming you for, Mo? I don't know. I didn't see it on Twitter. What was everybody flaming you for? When you came in, you said they were killing me on Twitter. What happened?
Basically, I was just telling people be patient. And I get Raiders fans. As I said on Twitter, there's a lot of scar tissue and they're thinking Josh McDaniels doesn't know what he's doing. Dave Ziegler doesn't know what he's doing. We're wasting an off season. I think part of it is seeing the Chargers make big moves for Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson, seeing the Denver Broncos get Russell Wilson. So you're like, what are we doing? We gotta catch up. And I agree with that. You can't look at last year and say, okay, we were second place. We made the playoffs. We don't have to do much. They have to catch up. Every year you have to reinvent your roster. Yeah. So I get the urgency there. But I was just telling people, hang tight. And people are like, oh, I don't know. These guys don't know what they're doing. They don't, I can't see us competing with the Chargers in Denver this year because we don't have the horses. We don't have the arms in this race. And I'm like, just wait. I think there's going to be a big signing. It's going to be a surprise. Again, that wasn't insider info. It's just logic and being around the game. I said, look, there's probably going to be a surprise, and they're going to use a lot of that money for extensions post June 1st.
Well, tell Wasted that, man.
Listen, man. I was devoid.
You had a meltdown on our show the other day.
Yes, I saw that. Wasted. You got to explain yourself, bro.
Listen, you I had 3 meltdowns. Bro. I'm normally, listen, you guys know, I am normally the pragmatist of Raider Nation. Listen, let me tell you something. I guess because of how much content I've been doing, you know what I mean? I almost thought that it was a certainty that some of the things we've been talking about were going to happen. Seriously, this is my first year doing this, right? Yeah. So normally I'm like, nah, we got to wait. Let's be patient. But I'm so immersed in this that I couldn't help it. You know what? Wasted is human too. I am human too. I flipped out. And you know what? It felt good. I don't care what y'all say. It feels good sometimes to walk on the wild side, but it'll never happen again. Everybody savor the flavor. It'll never happen again. I think it was the Khalil Mack thing that really set me over the edge. I'm not going to lie. Khalil Mack is probably my favorite player that the Raiders have drafted since Charles Woodson. He definitely, he might be, because I love, listen, I played linebacker. I love Khalil Mack. Yeah. When Khalil Mack went to the Chargers, I tried to be a centrist. I tried to put a wet blanket over the situation on air. But at home, I was dying inside. I was dying. I was like, yo, if there was ever a time to say this was the equinox, it would be to bring the great Khalil Mack back, and it didn't happen. And you know what? That was just some leftover energy, man.
Let me ask y'all this real quick, because I think right now, right, we have Chandler Jones. We have, all of our guys. We have Klee still on the roster. We have all these defensive ends, Max. Shout out to my little brother, Raiders.Scout right now. He just dropped something and said the Seahawks are releasing Benson Mayo. For those who don't, that's a Raider legend. You know what I'm talking about? But I think that'd be a great depth piece. The Seahawks just released him.
I hate the fact that we got rid of him.
Third run. Hey, for those who don't know, Raider legend. Hey, man, this guy will give you 7. He's like a better version of like Nassib to me. Like he'll give you 8 sacks here and there once in a blue moon. Like real talk. Like he'll do that. Something to think about.
I wouldn't be mad at it, because if there's one thing he could do is rush the passer.
Yeah, definitely.
Pass rush, I'll be all for it on third down to come in, do his thing.
Definitely.
If Benson Mayowa comes back, I'm getting a Benson Mayowa shirt and I'm rocking it to Vegas 2 days in a damn row. I'm telling you right now.
And it has to say third time is a charm. It has to have the 3 trophies, and it has to say third time is a charm, man.
Listen, man, but yeah, no, for real, I will be definitely in favor of that, because we know Benson can get busy, man, in his role. You know what I mean? The thing for me is that what I want is that I want solid depth at all the interior line positions. I'm not really like big on taking big swings on, receivers and stuff like that. I'd rather the receiver room be filled with capable receivers that fill different roles. But when it comes to the trenches, I want healthy, mobile, agile, and hostile people that are there ready to take this team forward. Because if the trenches are solidified, the secondary solidified, like I see it shaping up, let me tell you something, man.
I don't be unprofessional. My brother, my Chipotle is sitting at my door, so we go grab it.
Listen,
do your thing, man.
But Mo, look, man, like I was saying, so I mean, for me, man, that's pretty much where I'm at with it, man. I just want the Raiders to be built correctly. They've been kind of top heavy with offense the last few years. They haven't paid enough attention to the defensive side of the ball, and I'm glad that we're starting off doing that.
I'm a proponent of building a team inside out. Because I think if you have a really good pass rush, and they did add Chandler Jones, that helps your guys on the back end. If you don't have elite man cover corners, you need a pretty good pass rush to offset that. So I think you build inside out, even on the offensive side of the ball. And of course, that goes to just protecting Derek Carr. So I'm with you. I want the Raiders to build in the trenches and then work their way out, linebacker, cornerback, safety.
Yo, man, they're killing me in the chat. They said, this is what I'm talking about. 3 intelligent brothers dropping knowledge and occasionally acting a fool. LOL, respect and love, keep it up, pause. Wait a minute. Benevolent Prime, my hater has arrived. Pragmatist, trade Waller, trade Carr, trade everybody. Benevolent Prime, that's my guy, man. Thank you, bro. But yeah, no, man, listen, I've always been of the Bill Parcells mindset, man. And yo, the legend is back. Graphic Raider.
My apologies, brother. I heard him outside of my garage, and he was like, "I don't know what to do." I said, "Let me hurry get out of here before he takes my food."
Nah, it's all good, bro. It's all good. Listen. That is an emergency, man.
Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you something. Salvatore Bruno wasted heart palpitations due to lack of sinus the other day. I was flipping out. Like, listen, if I would have got on air and been on air for like an hour, I'd have been able to kind of 1-2 out of it. We was on air for how long? Was on air for Graph? Like 13 hours, bro.
Yes.
Jesus.
We in there for 13 hours.
Everybody know too. We raised over $2,000 for the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So shout out to everybody that donated and that helped, man. I'm cutting that check and I'm gonna shoot the video and I'm gonna show you guys every step, man. We raised a lot of money for the kids, so I appreciate you guys for coming through for that. We didn't do 13 hours for no reason. We did it for a purpose, man. And shout out to my brother Wasted and Andy and everybody that came through to bless the page, because I couldn't have did that by myself, man. That was tough.
This is what I like to hear and see. Raider Nation creators, content creators getting together and doing good things, because you get on Twitter, you hear a lot of people say, "Oh, Raiders Twitter is so toxic," and they go after each other. And I think it's just a certain section of it, as with any other fan base. Because I've covered the Steelers, I've covered the Giants, and let me tell you, it's the same thing with those fan bases. And it's good to see the prominent voices get together and do good things, erase that toxic image of Raiders Twitter. So.
We raised thousands of dollars for Tina for her funeral as well with Henry Ruggs. Like, this is what we're supposed to do, man. Like, this is bigger than us. Don't get me wrong. I'm blessed to be able to do this for a living because I love this team and I just love to talk about it. I love to talk this. I could talk Raider football all day, every day. We just did a 5-hour live right before this, and I feel like I'm recharged and ready to go again. But, it's bigger than us, man. You know what I mean? And people need to understand, we grew up, we diehard Raider fans. You have to live up to that shield, man. Like, we've done great things within the community. We need to continue to do that, man. It's bigger than football with this. You know what I mean? So shout out to anybody that tries to do anything positive outside of just football. You know what I mean? It's bigger than that.
And if we look at what the Raiders represent, the Raiders have always been the trailblazers for change in football.
Yeah, definitely.
First Hispanic head coach, first Hispanic starting quarterback, first black head coach, first woman in the front office. I mean, I think there was a lady that was in the front office for the Philadelphia Eagles. I might be mistaken, but Amy Trask was in the front of our office for a very long time, and she set a standard. And Al Davis was the kind of guy where he was like the United Nations of football. If you can play, he was going to bring you in there. He didn't care about anything, wherever you came from. And that's why I call this the United Nations of Raider Nation, Raider Nation Unlimited. We try to bring everybody together, man. Yeah. And the pimp on top of what Graf was trying to say, or the pimp beside it, yo, this is what we try to do, man. We try to be a benefit and a credit to the community because we have the best fan base. We have the most loyal fan base. I don't care what anybody says. Other fan bases can say what they want. We are the greatest fan base in professional sports. We are the most intelligent fan base in professional sports. And we have the best writers and we have the best content creators. So we have to show and prove our greatness on a daily basis.
I'm gonna be honest. There's not a lot of guys that I really actually love to go read their articles. Like Mo, I can genuinely say that, brother. Like I love when you come with something because it's logic, it's not emotional. You speak facts and it's just real. You know what I mean? And you know, this is no shade to anyone else because anything Raider related, I'm gonna support it regardless. But when Mo drops something, I feel like an article dropped. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's something I'm like, let me check that because I can't even imagine how many videos I've done just off reading Mo's articles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
facts.
I'll see something and be like, you know what? Let me talk. I got something to say about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Mo brings facts and he also brings room for you to have a conversation about it. You know what I mean? And not everybody does that, man. A lot of people just come on and say the most simplest things in the world that we all knew already, and they publish it. It just, you know what I mean? Sometimes like, come on, man.
The one thing that I will say, there's a lot of things I can say about Mo because I'm a huge fan, always have been.
How did y'all meet? Right? Because I love the dynamic you guys have.
You know what? That'll be a story for another time.
Yeah,
that'll be a story for another time.
That's a layered. That's definitely a layered story.
That's a layered story.
I was thinking about that. I said, how the hell did they link? You know what I mean? Like, so
I'm glad we did, though. I'm glad. I'll say this. I'm glad we did.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. When it comes to a lot of the writers out there, you know, a lot of guys do great work, you know, and then you have other ones who do some clickbaity things. And you got to respect it because you got to do what you got to do to keep food on the table, right? But I respect the writers, and I'm not going to name anyone singularly. I respect the writers who always keep it, you know, like
keep it funky.
Like they keep a level of integrity. And when I read most things and I read Bleacher Report, there is a level of integrity that you don't see anymore. There's a journalistic integrity because that's kind of been removed over the years because of the internet and everyone having an opinion and everybody being able to have 140 characters to say whatever they want. They could just put something out in the atmosphere and then it just goes away in a wash.
Yeah.
It's the instant gratification. I touched on this yesterday. A lot of people post things for the likes and retweets. I do it because, look, I'm trying to open a discussion and I'm trying to build the trust with my audience. So I wouldn't tell you something that I didn't believe myself. Some people just say things because it's trendy. Or that's what someone else said. Or they think that's going to get them clicks and interactions. I do it because that's my honest opinion. And I'm opening the floor to everyone else to input their opinion. And we can have a legitimate discussion about it. That's what it's all about.
That's definitely facts, man. Definitely.
So Mo, I know we can't keep you all night, man. I know this. We would if we could. We tend to be on the air entirely too long.
I'm going live after this.
Yo, crap, you are crazy. I'm going to the gym and going to the bed.
And I'm about to jump back on. I hope something else happens.
All right, Mo, 3 things before we go. 1, out of the free agents that are left, who do you see the Raiders bringing in?
I would go with Darrell Williams, only because to me, that's the biggest need right now. You have to do something with that offensive line. I just can't see the Raiders going through the next few days without addressing it, especially with the questions around Alex Leatherwood. You need an upgrade for John Simpson. If Alex Leatherwood's your right guard, you don't have a right tackle on the roster unless you're rolling with Denzel Good. And I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
So I would say Darrell Williams. I will also bring up again Dante Jackson only because the connection with Jason Simmons from Carolina. I think that's a possibility. Of course, you know I'm pulling for Stephon Gilmore, but I think Dante Jackson is real strong possibility right now.
All right, my second question. Being that things have kind of changed in this arms race in the AFC West, right? And I know our team isn't all the way together yet. Where do you see this organization going within the next 2 years, man? Like, you know, because you got the Russell Wilsons of the world there, you got the Patrick Mahomes of the world there. I tend to think that the Kansas City Chiefs, if they don't do something very, very drastic, are going to lose a lot of ground in this division. How do you see this division shaping out so far? And I know that's a hard question because our roster isn't all the way together yet.
I'll make this declaration. It's the toughest division of football now. Now that the Seattle Seahawks are kind of bottomed out in the NFC West, the AFC West is the toughest division in the league. I think every team has a chance to make the playoffs, pending the Raiders add, something to the offensive line. I think every team has a chance to make it to the playoffs next year. But I will say this. It's going to come down to complete rosters. I know a lot of people want to pay attention to the quarterbacks, Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert. What team is going to have also a pretty good defense? And I think, to your point, I think that's where the Chiefs are going to slide back. I think they're going to lose Tyrann Mathieu. I think their defense is going to be sort of mediocre. I know they keep in Frank Clark, but if you don't have a complete roster in the AFC West, you're going to struggle.
Yeah. And their defense got, and this may sound random, but their defense got better when they picked up Melvin Ingram. He's a free agent as well, right?
Right. That's correct.
So, they're going to definitely take a step back. Definitely.
And also, can we get a confirmation from you that you will join us, the Four Horsemen, on a show one day, and we could be called the Fab Five?
Hey, I'm all for sports analogies. I'm all for joining power teams and power groups. I'm like LeBron James in that sense. If you got a big 2, a big 3, a big 4,
Yeah.
I'm willing to step in it and complete the puzzle. I'm all for it, my dude.
My brother, man. Love you, brother. Yo, Bo, thank you for really pulling up on us, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, Graf, man.
My brothers, man.
Thank everyone in the chat, man.
Yeah.
This has been terrific. Free agency frenzy is still going on. I think that I'm the Maloik of the free agency because ever since I've came home, nothing has happened positive for the Raiders.
We just signed former Ravens cornerback Anthony Averett.
Oh,
There's some.
the Maloik has been broken. That was a darn good signing. I like Anthony Averett, man. What do you guys think about that? Let's break that down on the way out. What y'all think?
We signed.
Hey, look. As I said, they weren't done at the position. I will say, solid signing with the Ravens.
Definitely.
From the Ravens. I don't know about Stephon Gilmore now, but I think now what you're going to get probably is you're going to get a cornerback in the one of the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And then you let those guys battle and see where they are in the pecking order at training camp.
Hey, he's 27. He's younger than Gilmore. Had 3 INTs last year. I like to pick up. He definitely picked it up when some of their guys went down over there. So
Marcus Peters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Marcus Peters went down, and he's
Marlon Humphrey went down.
15 million. I think he's on 15 million next year.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it. I like his pickup. That was an under the radar name. Like I didn't even know he was actually available. To be real,
yeah.
I mean? So there you go.
The Raider equinox is upon us, gentlemen.
There we go.
Take it in, baby, because
it.
things are changing. I'm good. I'm positive again. I'm sorry I had a meltdown. I apologize, Raider Nation. I had a meltdown. Wasted is entitled to one meltdown. I can't always be under control all the time. I'm sorry. but no.
I love the pickup, man. Definitely.
Guys, listen, it's been a pleasure and an honor, man. Mo, thank you. We got Dave Ziegler in the house.
Finally being on a graphic though. That has been a pleasure. I've been watching your work, seeing you work with Wasted. Feel good being on with you for the first time. So
Mo, the same as well, my brother. I couldn't wait. That's why I left that tweet. I said, man, we got to do something together, all 3 of us soon. So, I love it, brother. Hey, it was a blessing, and hopefully we do this again in the near future, man.
Definitely.
Most definitely, my brother.
Yo, fire show, man. Y'all, we gonna get out of here. This has been another Raider Nation Unlimited. For Mo, for Graf, we out like yesterday, and we gonna play the new theme music on the way out, baby.